So some psycho in North Dakota chased down a teen at 2:30 in the morning after a dance party because, quote, by the perpetrator, he knew that he was an extremist Republican. Way to unite the nation, Joe Biden, as you promised when you were elected. And then you go out and criticize MAGA Republicans, the other side, calling them terrorists, a threat to the democracy, and activating via your stochastic terrorism, which is when you urge someone, oh, won't somebody rid me of this priest, as the English king once did. The same thing that the Democrats are doing, calling Republicans evil, a threat to democracy. And meanwhile, we have a Democrat politician who killed a reporter. Oh, it was supposed to be the evil right-wingers that were going to go after the press. They were the threat to the press, not those people currently in office that are trying to suppress free speech, that literally have told Twitter to shut down accounts in violation of the First Amendment, where the government is not supposed to collude with private enterprise, which, by the way, is the definition of fascism, which, of course, via confession through projection is what they are accusing Republicans of being fascists. And yet here we have the Democrat politician in Las Vegas who murdered the journalist. Here we have an unhinged loon on the Democratic side who goes out and kills somebody specifically because they were a Republican. I'm sorry. Tim Pool might be right. Maybe it is civil war. You cannot keep this up. You cannot continue to divide the country in an effort to activate your base in order to win votes, which is what Joe Biden and the Democrats are continually doing. It is outright evil, and we are suffering as a country. We don't even look or potentially even date somebody of the opposite political spectrum of us. Oh, because maybe our friends are going to judge us, or maybe we just don't like them based on their political views. And the sad thing is that, although I'm sure it happens that right-wingers also have blocked friends, have intentionally dissociated themselves from somebody on the left, I've done it to one person who was lying on a continual basis, and I corrected their lie, and they continued to spread the same lie. And I've been deleted at least 50 people, and I have no idea how many more just aren't talking to me or have silently done so. These are people that have actively called me out because they disagree with my views. What happened to you, they ask? Well, I'm telling you what happened to me. Joe Biden, the Democrats, this woke cancel culture has made me realize the importance of owning the gun and supporting the Second Amendment, where before I was against guns. I didn't want anybody to have a gun. Now I realize when they tell the police to stand down for their own political gain so that they can scare people and say, look what happens when Donald Trump is in office, the importance of being able to protect yourself. And this is something that I don't believe should ever be taken from people. And here you have a North Dakota man running down an 18-year-old because he was an evil Republican. This is insanity. This is the difference of political opinions and what's right for the country and should be talked about via free speech. But the White House continues to shut down free speech, as I mentioned, with Twitter, and God knows what other social media companies they've approached, certainly Facebook. You just look at Andrew Tate, who had all his accounts shut down in unison by some centralized body. This is what happens when too much power gets put in the hands of the few. And as this culture develops in our society of othering the enemy, of seeing them as an evil extremist, as Joe Biden so ardently explains, then you will have more of this, unfortunately. Then this is not the United States that I want to live in. And I wish for us to settle our differences peacefully via free speech, via listening to each other. So leave your thoughts below in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think of these recent events and how they are castigating the Republican side, the right-winger side, and all the violence seems to be coming from the left. One riot, January 6th, that was bad. That shouldn't have happened. And what happened on 5/29/2020? They attacked a guard post at the White House. They injured many, many officers. Far more than were injured in the Capitol riots, and the Democrats go ahead and state that policemen were killed at the scene. The New York Times supporting them with lies about Brian Sicknick, stating that he was hit over the head with a fire extinguisher, when in fact he died of a stroke. These are liars These are evil people. And I hate to say it because I'm kind of doing what Joe Biden did, but gosh darn it, look at the evidence in front of you and tell me how I am wrong.